Alright guys, so we're just going to start off seated and we're going to work on our knee cars. So these are definitely tricky if you haven't practiced them much. So what you're going to do is just take one arm underneath your leg, have the knee bent about 90 degrees, take the other hand on top so you can feel your shin bone. Then from there, I just want you to practice rotating your knee back and forth. So what can also help, guys, is take your other hand, place it behind your outer hamstring, and then if you contract that, that's going to externally rotate your knee. Also, guys, while we're doing this, try to keep the ankle relaxed. So try not to move your ankle or foot around. Try and keep that relaxed, and we're just rotating the knee. All right, guys, from here, I want you to just lift that leg off the ground. We're just going to practice just some hinges. So I want you to externally rotate and then just straighten about 80% and then bend, holding that external rotation. Nice, guys. All right, now I want you to internally rotate and we'll do a couple more hinges. Nice. All right, now we're going to practice the rotation. So let's start an external rotation and we're going to extend about 80%. Then we're going to internally rotate and then flex. Externally rotate, extend, internally rotate, flex. One more rep. Externally rotate, extend, and in and flex. Okay, back the other way. Hold the internal rotation, extend, externally rotate, flex, in, extend, externally rotate, flex. Make sure, guys, like I said, we're trying to rotate from the knee, trying to keep that ankle as still as we can. Nice. Okay, that's one leg. Let's just switch to the other, go through that sequence. So again, to start with, heel on the ground, hand on the shin, and just try and get a feel for that rotation back and forth. Okay, guys, now lift that leg up, externally rotate, do a couple of hinges. Try to max out that external rotation throughout, and internally rotate, and a couple more hinges. All right, guys, quick break, and then we're going to do our full cars. So lift that leg up, externally rotate, extend, internally rotate, flex. Two more this direction. Try to keep that ankle relaxed. And back the other way, hold that internal rotation, extend, externally rotate, and flex. In, extend, out, and flex. Last rep. Nice job, guys. So technically this is actually a level 2 cars because we're sitting, it's kind of blocking our hips from moving as much. So the daily routine cars for the knees would actually be standing up. So you would actually be like this, and then you'd be working your knees from this position. However, it is very difficult, so to start with, until you get the hang of it, you can definitely do this seated version and do those steps that I've showed you. All right, guys, let's just move on to the kneecap. So just extend one leg out. Make sure the quad is relaxed, the leg is straight, and let's just move that kneecap in a circle as big as we can. And just go the other direction with that circle. To me, this feels really good. Some people find it kind of strange, but my knees feel good afterwards. All right, guys, and now I want you to, whatever part of that rotation with the kneecap felt the stickiest, then I just want you to go back to that part and just move back and forth through it. And let's switch sides. So yeah, make sure that leg's relaxed. Leg is straight, and do some rotations. Okay, change directions. And last thing, just find that sticky spot if you have one and just work through it a couple times. Nice work. Okay, now we're going to move on to ankles. We're going to do some ankle cars. So again, normally in our daily routine we would do these standing up. But we'll do these actually from a lying down position today. So I just want you to lie down on your back and just hug one knee into the chest and place your hands over your shin bone. So now, while we're doing our ankle cars, I don't want you to rotate the knee. So if you feel the knee moving underneath the hands, then try to prevent that, so try to keep the knee more relaxed. All right, guys, so first thing, you're just gonna point your foot. Now, I want you to sweep your big toe to the inside. Now start to flex your foot, so bring your foot up towards your shin. Get as much dorsiflexion as possible. Now sweep the foot to the outside. Then start to point it again. So let's do 2 more reps that direction. Try to make this rotation as controlled as you can. So you're probably going to find certain spots are kind of jerky. Try to make it smooth throughout. And you're going to get better at this over time. This may be a very new movement for a lot of you guys. All right, so goes other direction, so sweep the pinky toe side out, then flex the foot, and then big toe side sweeps across, and then point again. So yeah, part of our mobility training is improving our control, so cars definitely helps with that. 1 more rep this way. Good stuff, guys. Okay, switch sides. I'm just going to turn this way so you get a different angle of it. All right, so point the foot, sweep the big toe in, pull the foot towards the shin, sweep out. and point. 2 more this way. Again, try to keep that knee still. Keep the knee relaxed. We're only moving the ankle. Not sure if this is 3 or 4, but anyways, and we'll go back for 3 the other direction. Imagine you're moving through thick mud with your ankle, so you can't move quickly and you have to keep it smooth. And last rep. All right, guys. Now, we're gonna move on to, for some people, what they might find the most difficult one, and it's the feet. So, just stand up. All right, guys. First thing we're gonna do is, I want you to keep your 4 smaller toes on the ground and try to lift your big toe. And if you can't do that, take your hands and just hold those other toes down as you lift up the big toe. So let's just go for 5 reps, whether you can do it on your own or you need to use your hands as help. Lifting that toe as high as you can. All right, guys, now leave the big toe down and lift the 4 smaller toes. Again, you can just use your hands to help you if you need. And yeah, I recommend doing this barefoot, although it can also be done in socks or even wearing shoes. It can be good to do them. So yeah, 5 reps on that one. All right, next one. You're gonna pick up all of the toes and keep the 4 little ones up and just touch down the big toe. And yep, same again. If you need to, just hold those other toes up as you push down with the big toe. 5 reps. All right, guys, now keep that big toe up, touch down the little toes. So I find some people can do this and some people really just can't. But yeah, using your hands to aid you at first definitely helps. And then over time with practice and concentration, you can get there. All right, now next one, you're gonna leave your feet on the floor, toes on the floor, but I just want you to squeeze your toes together. Then relax. Squeeze together and relax. 5 reps. So something that might help with this is actually put your finger in between your big toe and your second toe and then squeeze your finger. That can be a good tactile cue to work on this one. All right, guys, next one's my favorite. You're gonna start with all your toes up in the air. Then I want you to try to reach your pinky toe out as far as possible, put it on the floor, and then reach out with your second from pinky toe, touch it down, then your 3rd, 4th, and then put your big toe down. So you're spreading your toes as far as you can, and then we'll come up the opposite way. So lift up the big toe, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, pinky toe. Yeah, this one's definitely probably the hardest. Again, you can use your hands just to help out if you need to. So let's just do this 2 more times. So yeah, you're trying to spread those toes out as wide as you can. Nice, guys. Cool. And then last thing we'll do is, I just want you to lift your toes up in the air on one foot, and then you're just gonna curl them under as much as possible all at once. So like you're making a fist with your foot. You could also imagine you're like picking up something with your toes. And then you can also just try to curl only the big toe or only the little toes. But yeah, for now we'll just squeeze them all. Okay, 5 reps and then switch sides. Yeah, so obviously in today's world we all wear shoes all the time, which is fine, but the problem is the shoes end up doing the job of the foot. So all the cushioning and support is provided by the shoe rather than our foot. So then our feet get really weak, and then they're more likely to get injured or get hurt, especially if we like activities such as running or jumping. So it's good to do these exercises to keep the feet strong, and also just spend some more time barefoot if you can. All right, guys, so that's our cars. And now we're gonna start to do some mobility for the knees. First position is gonna be saddle position. So that just looks like this. You're just sitting back on the heels. So if you're not able to do this, there's a couple reasons potentially why. You might feel it in the quads or the knees, feeling tight. If that's the case, you want to grab something to sit on. So for example, I've got these yoga blocks. You can put that underneath and sit like this, so it's a little bit less knee flexion, and do that. Other people might be fine on the quads, but the ankles are sore. In that case, I recommend you either roll up a towel or a blanket, place that under your ankles, or if you have an ab mat, you can place that. And then just put the ankles and the feet across there, and yeah, that'll take some of the pressure off the ankles. All right, so find whatever position works for you. And we're just gonna hang out here for 2 minutes. So we'll just start off sitting up tall. And then as we progress, if you feel comfortable, we're gonna start to lean back. I forgot to get the music set up. I knew something felt different. Okay guys, it's been about 30 seconds. If this feels comfortable for you, just lean back, put your hands on the floor behind you. All right guys, if this still feels okay, you can come down maybe onto the elbows, or you can just lie back all the way, maybe with your head on the ground, or maybe even your shoulders. Okay guys, so in 30 seconds, we are gonna do PAILs and RAILs for this position. So the PAILs effort, we are gonna be squeezing our quads and driving our feet into the floor. So we're basically kicking the floor. The RAILs, I want you to try to squeeze your butt, and even if you can, squeeze your hamstrings. you probably won't get much engagement out of the hamstrings, but just do your best. And also guys, as with all of this stuff, if it feels painful, you can stop early or just don't do the pails and rails. All right, so 20% effort, just start to drive your feet into the floor, engage those quads. As long as there's no pain, increase to 40% and 60% and 80%. 3, 2, 1. All right, relax the quads, squeeze the butt. Try to get engagement in the hamstrings. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, back to passive. 30 seconds to go. And come on out of that one, guys. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, just a quick counter stretch. Just straighten your legs out in front of you. So ideally, guys, I would love for you all to be able to get to a point where you can sit comfortably on your heels, just like this. That's gonna keep your knees healthy, keep your quads loose, and it's just sort of a natural sitting position for human beings. All right, guys, next up, we are gonna now stretch our hamstrings. So, if you do have yoga blocks, they might be helpful, or just anything really to put your hands on. We're gonna do what's called the runner's lunge. So you're gonna be on one knee, and then the other leg is gonna be out in front like this. So guys, you can actually play around with the angle of your knee. So some of you might feel more of a stretch with the leg a bit straighter. Some of you might feel better actually if you bend the knee slightly. And you can also play around with the angle of the foot. So you can try pointing the foot or flexing the foot. And then you can even turn your hip. So you can like maybe internally rotate, externally rotate, or you can even like kind of turn your hips one way or the other. So yeah, there's loads of ways of just making slight variations with this stretch. And it's good to mix up your stretching so that you're opening up lots of different angles and ranges of motion. So yeah, guys, just find a good stretch here, and probably got about another minute to go, passive. And then we'll do our pails and rails. So for this one, guys, pails, we're gonna drive our heel into the ground. So we're gonna be engaging the hamstring. And then for the rails, we're gonna try to engage the quad hip flexor and see if we can lift the foot off the ground. Welcome, Stefan. Hey. Good evening. So yeah, we're just stretching out the hamstrings, yeah. And then yeah, once you're ready, if you could just mute yourself. All right, guys, let's start this pails effort. So 20% effort. Drive that heel into the ground, so feel those hamstrings turning on. Now come up to 40%. As always, guys, if it's no pain, continue. 60%. Gradually ramping up the effort, 80%. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, squeeze the quad hip flexors. Try to lift the leg if you can, otherwise just engage. 3, 2, 1, and back to a passive stretch. Now you might be able to lean a little further forward now. Fifteen more seconds. All right, guys, come on out of this one, and we're just gonna switch sides. It's pretty common to have differences side to side. So yeah, if that's the case for you, don't worry. My left is definitely a lot tighter. All right, guys, so we're gonna go for another 2 minutes, then do our pails and rails. And yeah, guys, to actually try to lengthen the hamstring, it's all about tilting the pelvis. So like if I just round my back like this, you might think I look super flexible, but that's not actually affecting my hamstring. So if I keep my spine longer and then try to fold forward, that is gonna really hit the hamstrings. "45 seconds to go, guys. Then we do pails and rails. All right, guys, start to engage the hamstring. Imagine someone's just turning a dial going from 0 to 100, and you're gradually increasing the effort in the hamstring. Pain-free. Okay, let's say we're about 60% now, and 80%. And if there's no pain, feel free to go as hard as you can. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, switch to the rails. Squeeze that quad hip flexor. Try to lift the leg. 3, 2, 1. Back to passive. Good job, guys. 10 more seconds. And come on out of this one. All right, guys, next up, we are going to do a hamstring strengthening exercise. It might help you if you have something just for a little bit of balance. So if you go over next to a wall or next to a piece of furniture, or even if you just grab a stick. So what we're going to do is come to as if you're in the bottom of a lunge position. Now from here, I want you to try to grab your back foot. Now, if this really isn't possible for you, you could try this actually just standing up, and try this standing quad stretch. And we'll do the same principles. So guys, what we're going to do is called a passive range hold. So we're going to pull our knee into as much passive range as we can, and we're going to try to engage and hold it as we let go. All right, so pull that foot and that heel as close to your butt as you can. Now I want you to engage your hamstring. Try not to let your heel drop, and then let go with that hand. All right guys, relax, re-grab the foot, pull it back up. Now you might find you're cramping with this. If that's the case, then just go a little bit lower until you don't have that cramp anymore. All right, 4 more reps guys. All right, squeeze the hamstring, slowly let go, try to hold it. And re-grab, pull up, engage, and let go, and grab. 2 more guys, engage, slowly let go, try not to let the foot drop, and grab. Last rep guys, engage, and hold. Now I want you to try to flex your foot and point your foot a couple of times, and then slowly lower down to the floor. Nice job, nice job. So, a lot of us, we might have quite flexible knees and quads, but then we might not have much strength and control there. So with this, we're trying to close that gap. All right, guys, let's switch sides. All right, so grab that foot, pull up. All right, now engage that hamstring. Try to hold it. Let go. 3, 2, 1, re-grab. And engage. Try not to let it drop. 3, 2, 1, grab again. And engage. Slowly let go. 3, 2, 1. 2 more guys, good job. And engage. Slowly let go. And last rep, we're gonna hold it a bit longer, flex and point the foot. All right, and engage, let go, and flex your foot, point, and flex. Try to reach the heel to the butt, and slowly lower down. Good stuff. Well done, everyone. Okay, we are gonna move on to our ankles for the last thing. So we're gonna start by just standing up. And yeah, if you might want something for balance. It's not completely necessary. And for some of you, this stretch might feel better with a shoe on actually. You kind of get a bit more purchase, but we'll try it barefoot as well. So all you're going to do is roll onto the outside of the foot, and then basically you're going to feel a stretch all along the outside of the ankle and shin. And yeah, we're just going to hold this. As always, guys, we want to avoid pain. So if you do feel pain, you can maybe vary the angle of the foot, turning in or out, or just come a little bit out of it. So hopefully you still feel some stretch, but it's not hurting. So yeah, just one ankle at a time for now. So guys, rolling the ankle is a pretty common injury, but if you actually increase your mobility in your ankle, when you roll it, you're going to be stronger in that position, and it's less likely that you're actually going to cause damage to the ligaments or tendons or muscles down there. Also with the ankle, our ankle needs to be able to invert and evert in order for it to flex and dorsiflex and plantar flex. So if you're tight in inversion and eversion, your dorsiflexion is going to be tight as well. Alright guys, so we're actually going to do a PAILs and RAILs effort here. PAILs, we're basically engaging this side, pushing our outside of the foot into the floor. And then RAILs, we're engaging on the inside as if we could pull our foot into even more tilt. All right, so 20% effort, push that outside of the foot into the ground. And as long as it's not painful, 40%. You can even put a little bit more weight on that ankle. All right, guys, 80%. 3, 2, 1. Now squeeze on the other side. Try to pull that foot into more and more tilt. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Alright guys, gently come out of that one and switch to the other side. So yeah, there's some mobility people I follow who can actually basically walk on the outside of their foot and even like jump on the outside of their foot because they've trained it to be so strong. So it's like their ankles are basically unrollable. Impossible, yeah. It would take a lot of force to injure their ankles. And yeah, that's the goal of our mobility training. We're trying to increase our capacity so that we can withstand more loads, and it's a reduced likelihood of injury. Especially in those end ranges, we might be super strong in our mid range of motion, but it's at the end where we're weak, and that's where we can get hurt more easily. Okay guys, 30 seconds left on this. Then we'll do our PAILs and RAILs. Alright guys, start to push through the outside of the foot. Come up to 40% effort. 60, 80. You can maybe put a little more weight on that ankle. 3, 2, 1. Switch to RAILs. Squeeze on the inside. 3, 2, 1. Back to passive. Just 15 seconds. guys, come on out of that one. And our final stretch of the day, we're going to work on our dorsiflexion. So, I want you to come down, place one knee underneath your chest. And to start with, guys, I want you to actually turn your foot, point out slightly. And then we're going to drive our knee straight forward, so kind of over the side of our foot. And you should feel a nice stretch, hopefully in the Achilles, but also maybe on the side, on the inside. So the opposite side to what we just stretched. You might feel a good stretch in the foot as well. So guys, the more dorsiflexion you have, the easier it is to squat, especially deeper squats. If your ankles are tight in dorsiflexion, it's very difficult to do things like overhead squats, front squats, snatches, cleans. That's why lifting shoes help so much, because they give you a little extra heel that gives you more dorsiflexion. So yeah, wearing lifters is fine, but imagine if you didn't even have to wear lifters, and then you wore your lifters. Imagine how mobile you'd be then. So guys, we've worked pretty hard tonight, so we're gonna skip the PAILs and RAILs for this one. But if you were to do it, PAILs would be engaging on this side, so the inside this time, kind of like pushing through the outside of the foot. And then RAILs, you'd be engaging on the outside, trying to lift the outside of the foot up. All right guys, just come out of this side, switch sides. So yeah, turn that foot out, and then just push the knee straight forwards. One minute to go, guys. Just relax, deep breaths. So yeah, a lot of us with the ankles, we always stretch it with the foot straight, which is fine, but I bet you're finding now with these different angles that you're probably super tight in all the areas that you haven't been stretching. "15 seconds left. Nice job. Okay, come out. Just lie down on your mat. Just close your eyes. It's actually such a big deal that you guys are taking this time to work on these things. If we don't work on our mobility, we just lose it slowly but surely. And over time, one day, it might all just hit us and we have a bad injury, or one day we might just notice that we can't really do what we like to do with our bodies anymore. And just because of the way our bodies are designed, our bodies don't preserve things that it doesn't think it needs. So if we don't use ranges of motion, our body's not going to waste energy maintaining our muscles and our ligaments and all the other tissues for us to use those ranges, because we never do use them. So why use that energy there? So it's really awesome that you guys are looking after your bodies. And it's going to be so beneficial, not just for your physical health, but your mental health. All right, guys, well done. That's the session for tonight.